So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to put these legendary players back into the game as NEWGENS/REGENS. I spoke about it in Friday's video. Link in the description for that if you want to go watch that. A whole way of kind of making FM24 a little bit more spicy, and you know, we've got a few more months to play out of it now with FM25 cancelled, so I've been coming up with different ways, and this is just a little way that you can put into a new save without it completely dominating absolutely everything. Now, I have put 20 legendary players into the game spread out over the first 4 seasons. Now in today's video, I am going to show you how it all works, because there's a couple of things that we need to do in terms of EDT files. Everything will be linked down in the description. However, if you want to support the channel and want the no fuss, little bit less work in terms of getting REGENS, NEWGENS, whatever you want to name them, into the game, I'm going to leave my ongoing save file, all the photos, so we can get pictures like this for Ronaldo into the game. I'm going to leave this and the file needed with all my 20 legendary wonder kids for my Patreons, which is linked down in the description. So if you want to support the channel, that would be tremendous. I am going to be adding 12 more to the database every Monday. So if you're starting a new save, each Monday, I will be adding 12 more. Next week as well, it's going to be a double one. We're actually going to be adding 12 more legendary players. By the way, put your suggestions down in the comments if you think who I should add. And at the same time, I'm also going to be doing the kind of cult hero kind of players. So your Vinnie Joneses, your Akin Fenwars, other suggestions, please put them down in the comments. Right. Let's dive in. I'm going to show you, first of all, how the database looks and then how we created it. There's kind of a couple of ways of doing it, a couple of issues, a couple of things to think about. There's no perfect science to it, but hopefully if you follow this, copy the couple of files that I'm going to leave linked down in the description, you should be able to get these into the game at some point. Right. We are in December 2028, so fast forwarded pretty much sort of like 5 seasons into the game. I've done that just to make sure that all the players have generated. I have also got the players generating at different times. The idea is that I get 4 or 5 players generating every single season. So season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4. At the moment, I've not gone any further than that, because after season 4, players that have just come into the game are 16, and then you've got to play another 4 or 5 years to get them to the age of 20, and by then you're looking at season 9, season 10. So if the database gets crazy big, we may then start adding in maybe 5th and 6th years, but I thought just to keep it playable, you know, you don't want Ronaldo to be generating in season 20, because you've got that's a long ass save. All right, so everyone should have generated by season 4 at the time of recording. So people we've got in the game are Ronaldo, Pele, who's just signed for Real Madrid. As you can see, he's been there since 2024. Bobby Moore, Paul McGrath. As you can see, he's English. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Gerd Muller. Gerd Muller, by the way, who I have put at his youth club, Norderlingling, who are a semi-amateur, semi-professional team. And then each time I've done this regen test, he's ended up signing for Bayern on a free transfer. Paul Gascoigne, Eusebio, Alfredo Di Stefano. Now, he was born in Argentina, but left. Argentina basically stopped him from playing, and then he went on to play 30 odd times for Spain. So one thing that we're going to have to do, and I will tweak it actually in my own file for you Patreons, is I'm going to change his nationality to Spanish and probably just get him to born in Madrid or something like that, just so we'll still get him spawning, generating at River Plate where he started, but we'll have him as Spanish rather than Argentinian, I think. King Kenny, Johan Cruyff, Bobby Charlton, John Charles decided to put some in for all the home nations. Eric Cantona, George Best, Franz Beckenbauer, Franco Baresi, Roberto Baggio. Now they are the 18. We've also got some added to the list in Ruud Gullit and Yev Lashin. I'm actually having a problem with Yev Lashin, trying to get him to generate in the game. The 3 tests that I've done, not being able to do that. I don't know if it's a Russian thing and they're not allowing Russian, because I've obviously changed a few of the rules to stop them playing European competition. I'm going to keep tweaking and playing and see if I can get him to spawn in the game. Now we do it using this file here, the support_staff.edt. This file will be available for everybody, not just the Patreons, for everybody, because the same scenario, the same input you do for every single player. So it will literally be an opportunity just to copy and paste. If you want to put yourself in the game, right now, as you can see, everyone will get access to having my lad in the game. He will generate at York City. And then everyone will get Bobby Charlton in the game. They will generate when the first sort of like youth intake happens during the first season in England. You will get Bobby Charlton at Manchester United. Everyone has access to that. That file, linked down in the description, needs to be pasted, not in your documents folder where you normally put all your graphics and things like that. It needs to go in here. So I will leave this file path for everybody. So C drive, program files 86, Steam, SteamApps, Common, Football Manager 24, Data, Database, DB. These are all the updates that Football Manager done. So obviously you want to do your latest one. So 2430, EDT, permanent, and then paste it in there now. So just download that file that I've put in the description and paste it in there. If it asks you to replace the file, just press yes. Not important. Nothing's going to be ruining the old file that they've got in there. This just looks a little bit cluttered. Depending on how big the names are, the positions are that they play, the numbers, the codes that you type in, it can all look a little bit off center. So to solve that, I have made my own file. So this is what I'm going to be using on a sort of like daily basis when I'm adding players to the database. And then all I will do is copy all this information, copy it, and then paste it into that folder right there. And then you're ready to go. Press save and then exit it so it's not up running. I think if it's running and you try and start a new save, it doesn't work. So just save it and exit. Make sure you're off it. Okay, so what does it all mean? Now, the first thing you need to make sure every single line starts with this. Detailed underscore future regen. Once again, you just copy and paste. And this is all the information you need. Some weird stuff, but some stuff you need, some you don't need. So everything has speech marks in it. So everything needs to have speech marks in. So you've got first name, surname, and in between common name. So your common name is like, you know, for instance, Pele is called Edson Arantes do Nascimento. That's his full name, but obviously we all know him as Pele. Same for Eusebio, same for Ronaldo. Even the same for my lad, Ralphie Hood. We like to call him Ralphinho. So if you want FM to display another name, then you need to put that there. If not, the speech marks, two speech marks together. So in and out, start and end. As you can see, Ruud Gullit has not got any. And Ruud Gullit has not generated in the game. So I think that's the reason why. So I'm quickly going to make sure that next time I start a new save, I have that in. Okay, so don't leave it blank. You must have just the speech quotes. I said for the Bobby Charlton one, as you can see, there it is. There's the two because it's left blank. Obviously, we don't need a different name for Bobby Charlton. Now, date of birth. This has been interesting. Really interesting in terms of trying to get this to work. Basically, if you're in Europe and you want players to generate, my suggestion would be to get them in before Christmas with this start date. So Ralphie's actually born on the 16th 11th, so I put them in. I've actually put their real date of birth. They've all generated in the game, so it's not a date of birth issue, but sometimes they'll generate maybe the season after you expect. If you want a player to generate during season 1, you need to put this. So put anything between sort of like September and Christmas. So just put Bobby Charlton's in because we know it works. 11th of the 10th, 2008. If you want someone to generate in season 2, 2009, so on and so on and so on and so on. Okay? Nationality. Now, these, you can put the names of the countries. However, if spellings are a little bit off and things are not matching up, I've found having these codes a lot better. How you find them codes is by going into the game, going to preferences, in the search option, put skinning. This comes up here. Show screen IDs in the title bar to assist skinning. Tick that, press confirm. And then you get this code in here. So every player, competition, stadium, everything has a unique code. So for nationality, all I would do is type in England. And then you can go see ID 765. Okay, so that's where you put it in there. Same for the supports. If you're going to put supports in the game, like the team that they support, you need to go back into the game. Once again, look for the code. York City, I've put for Ralphie 744. Manchester United 680. Not important, not required. Once again, if you're not going to do it and you just want to save a bit of time, do not leave it blank. Make sure you put your speech marks in. Okay, next bit, ethnicity, skin tone, hair, etc. You're going to use this full file here. This is not a file, so it's a web page sorted out beside. It shows you how to set it up and the codes and everything you need. So we're looking now at ethnicity. So down in ethnicity, as you see, each one has got a number, 0, and then depending on ethnicity, you just change the number. Skin tone basically just says something like higher there. A value of 1 to 20, with 1 being the lightest and 20 being the darkest. So Ralphie is extremely light, so I put him as 5. And then Pele, obviously black, put him as 17. Doesn't matter too much because you're going to be putting player faces in at some point, but just something to be aware of. Hair is just the hair colour. Once again, that is linked down here from black to blonde to even bald. Number 7 for Bobby Charlton. Height, not required, but I have put all the heights into the game for you. Just thought that was a little bit, make it a little bit more kind of realistic, I suppose. Weight, not even touch that. Next one is a number between 1 and 4, and that is the preferred foot. So your preferred foot options are right only 0, left, right preferred, left preferred, and both. Make sure they are in there. Now, positions. Now, this is an interesting one. Down here, there is loads of people discussing how to get certain roles in the game. We've kind of not figured. SI do not give you the information and try and, you know, they don't do this as a tutorial. It's everybody are trying to guess, basically, how to get it in the game. Now, I've just used the simple ones instead in terms of, you know, you've got your goalkeepers, your defenders, fullbacks, midfielders, right and left, centre midfielders. You've also got attacking midfielders and strikers. However, we've not got defensive midfielders and we've not got like wing backs. Players will generate with a sort of like the ability to move around and being able to play multiple positions. But if you want that real DM, this hasn't been the way. However, I believe somewhere people are literally always trying to kind of figure out how to get the game working. And I believe someone has managed to get it to work. I would suggest reading this because it gives you so many options. There you go. I have tested and successfully generates defensive midfielders and wingbacks using the following in the preferred text. There you go. Defensive midfield, wingbacks, left wingbacks. So you've got all that information. I suggest giving that a read because it gives up people's ideas and things that they're trying to do, try and get things to work, and date of birth, stuff like that. It takes about 5 minutes. By all means, jump in, give it a read. So there's your positions. Your number is just a strange one. Just the player's preferred number. Few numbers are popular numbers. Johan Cruyff 14, my lad 17, Bobby Charlton 9, etc. Baggio 10. And I've just realised while Yev Lashin is not, this is what I mean. He's not spawning in the game because I've left that blank. There we go. That's why. That's why. That will be why. You patrons will probably now get Yev Lashin spawning generated in the game. So do not leave it blank. Rude Hullet, Yev Lashin. I've not added in the game so far, and that was because I've not put them in, so something to be aware of. Even if it's not important, make sure you have that in. Right, birth city. Now, this doesn't need to be in. You could literally just do it like it is for weight and just have that in. But if you want extra realism, it takes a little bit more work because you don't actually have, you have cities in the game, but you can't see their IDs. So what you need is the FM editor. Once you've opened it up, go to cities, type in your nation. So type in your city. So for Alfie's born in York, and then you use that code 1099 in there. All right. Once again, you can leave it off if you're not interested in kind of, you know, having birth cities. Needs a little bit of work. You obviously need not the in-game editor, the proper FM editor. Quite simple to use as well. Just press load. Comes up, press load. This screen will pop up like that with it empty, and you just go to cities, add condition, name, and then just type it in there, press search, and it'll come up. CAPA is obviously current ability and potential ability. Now, I had the current abilities about 80, 90 to start with, up to 100 for the best players, and I just thought they were good, but they weren't that good to start, and I was a little bit worried. In particular, one of the saves, Maradona stayed Argentinos Junior till he was about 24 and kind of suffered a little bit for that. So I've decided to give them still really high PAs. I've not actually put anyone at 200 yet. But the CAs is current ability and how they start. So that's why you want that wonder kid to be really, really good, don't you? Because these are, let's be honest, these were the best players of all time. We're not talking any old wonder kid. These are the best players of all time. So I thought we need to give them a higher number. So 120 for everybody. And then a couple of the real superstars. So Maradona, Pele, Beckenbauer. I might have done Johan Cruyff. Yeah, Johan Cruyff, Baggio, because he's my fave. Ronaldo, the original Ronaldo, etc. I've put up to 135. PA is what they can go to, high as 200. And then club, once again, this is where you need to go into your game and just go find your club, Man City, 679. You put that in there. This here is an extra column that I've done. If you want to do this, that's fine. And you're really wanting to create an own database, this is for your own personal. Do not copy this into the notepad. I've put season, and then these are the seasons that I'm getting the players to generate, just so I can keep track. People have said is that if you try and generate this, not the same player, but two players from the same, to generate at the same club, it won't work. I think there's maybe a way around, but I'm just trying to make sure that I don't want to put 5 new players coming in every season at the same club anyway. I don't think that would be good. So I'm just trying to, for my kind of work, I'm just trying to spread it out. So if I'm doing Man United, like we've got Bobby Charlton season 1, and then we've got George Best in season 4, and then I might sneak in another one in season 2, season 3, potentially just have maybe 1 a season. So that's why I've got in that, but that does not get copied in. Once you're happy, you literally just copy that, obviously not your titles, just that data, and paste it in there. Save it, make sure it's saved in that right place that I've put the path name down in the description. Save it, and away you go. It must be with a new save, remember. It won't start in a current save you've got. It must be for a new save. You don't have to add anything additional in the game either. It's not like you're setting up like a new database. It will automatically read the file for you. Okay, now, the next thing we want to talk about is, I suppose, the player faces. And this has proved tricky, but doable. So, FM have changed, in FM24, they've actually changed this here. So this is their IDs. And it used to be just a number, but they've now changed in r/, and that has basically ruined the old program, which I used to use, called FMXML. This basically used to generate everything for you. It was super quick and would make a config file for you. So what I'm going to do is, for everybody, I'm going to leave a configure file down in the description for you to download and for you to edit. Okay? So if you are going to make a graphics folder, what you need to do is make sure your graphics folder is in Documents, Sports Interactive, Football Manager, Graphics, where you paste everything, and then make a new folder. So I have made this folder here, Legends Regen, and then I have put in all the players that I've got into the game, their faces in there, with their faces named. Now this file here, you need to make sure you've got this file. This file is available for everyone, linked down in the description, because you're going to edit it yourself. So it looks complicated, but believe me, it's not. So let's say you post a new player. Tell you what, just for argument's sake, let's take out Ronaldo, right? So we want Ronaldo's face in the game. So you would put in a picture of Ronaldo. You can use sites like Photopea, completely free online if you don't have Photoshop, to remove backgrounds and etc. I've got the file size at 400 x 400. I don't think it needs to be a certain style. I just think 400 because it's square, it makes them fit quite nicely in the game. With that configure file, this is what we would do. Grab the previous line, because there'll be a line available for you, press copy, and then put it on the next line, press paste. Now we've got Puskas there, so this is where we now change it to Ronaldo. That is the name of the file. If it was Big Dave, even if you'd named the picture Big Dave, it needs to be Big Dave. Whatever you've named that file, it needs to be exactly the same. You do not put anything else in. I wouldn't put, you can probably get away with numbers, etc. obviously, but I haven't put in symbols and stuff. I've literally just put the surname, Ronaldo. And then this needs to change here. So we need to go into the game, find him in the game. Obviously, you wouldn't have that picture. You wouldn't have that picture right now. His ID is right there because we've already turned that on earlier on in the video. So I have a skin called Vince Skin. If everyone's wondering, this is called Vince. I will leave that link down in the description as well. This gives you this little button here, which is Show ID. And all it does is flick it up for you. And then all I've been doing is highlighting it, selecting it, copying it, going back to my folder, and then pasting that number, deleting the previous number, and pasting that in. And then once again, if I was doing another one, Big Dave, I would copy it, don't cut it, copy it, paste that, make a new, whatever the picture would be, Big Dave, and then find Big Dave in the name, get rid of that number because that's Ronaldo's number from the previous line, and then paste in a new name. Once again, press save, and make sure it's in your graphics folder, Legends, whatever you want to call it. That name, by the way, Legends Regen, you can call it whatever you want. It can be literally whatever you want. Like, look, that one there, I've got one called Board from Bordeaux because I had it from my save. This will only work, though, unfortunately, this will only work for your save. So if you've got 2 saves running, you'll have to do it twice, which is really frustrating, but it's the only kind of easier way of doing stuff. Like, I suppose if you're not going to sign some of these players initially and you only want them once they've signed for your club, then you can just do it once they've signed. However, I've got the file there, which, by the way, Patreon's, the picture, the config file will be there as an extra folder for you to download right now. So if you head over to Patreon, you will have the 20 REGENS Legends pack EDT file for you to copy and paste straight in. And you will also have this folder here to put everyone in. Everyone else, I will leave that blank with Bobby Charlton and my boy, so you can copy and start making them yourself. And also, I will leave that configure file so you can make your own folder, and I've kind of done all the work for you. You don't need to delete anything out of that. Just literally, if you want to maybe make 2 lines, space, and then start your own stuff, you're more than welcome to. All right, guys, that is it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope I've gone through everything. I'm going to start a little link in my Discord as well, a new channel for this sort of like Legends Regen pack if people want to ask questions. If it don't work, you're doing something wrong. Like, I've been scratching my head. I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning last night trying to figure out why Levi Lashin was not in the game, and now I've just realised because I left that blank, that little box blank. So it needs to be perfect to get it in. Hopefully you'll enjoy that. Just another way of, I'm really looking forward to trying to sign a couple. And as I said, for you Patreons, every single Monday, 12 new players will be added to the database. Next week, there will be 22 because we're going to do our cult icons pack as well for you, including pictures, the lot. If you want to support the channel, £3 a month on Patreon. There's loads of tactics and all sorts on their databases for you to use. And if you enjoy my content, I'd appreciate it if you go support the channel. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know, cult figures, who shall I put in the game next? Let me know down in the description. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. See you later.